A science nerd is in trouble for importing plutonium for his collection. A California sperm bank suffers a very embarrassing leak. And a white woman who identifies as black plans to move to Africa. These are the three weird news stories from around the world for today on this episode of Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the universe. Let's do it. A science nerd in Australia is facing some jail time after importing plutonium for his collection. We have a science nerd who wanted to collect all of the elements of the periodic table and is in trouble for ordering some radioactive material over the internet. Oh, God forbid people have hobbies around here. I mean, right? If regular citizens can't order plutonium, how are we supposed to make time machines out of DeLoreans? We can't have limited access to these materials. What are we supposed to use to charge the flux capacitor is what I'd like to know. We have here Emmanuel Leiden, age 24. This is an Aussie. He's going to have to wait to learn his sentence after breaching some nuclear non-proliferation laws by shipping samples of plutonium to all places. His parents' suburban home. How'd you like to go to the mail to find out that your son has just ordered some radioactive materials to be delivered to the house because he got bored of playing Pokemon? Well, we're learning a lot here. I didn't even know you could order plutonium online. I thought you had to smuggle it out of North Korea or something. But this Australian nerd here, Emmanuel, pleaded guilty to offenses under Australia's Nuclear Non-Proliferation Act that carry a possible 10-year jail sentence. I don't think you should need to slap the book at him. Is that what it's called? Slap the book at him? Throw the book at him. Slap the cuffs on him. That's what it was. I don't think he has to do a jail sentence for this. He has no malicious intent, I assume. He's just a nerd and wants to collect some elements for his little home science project or whatever. But he did plead guilty. He's going to receive his sentence from the judge in the beginning of April. The importation sparked a major hazmat alert, with Australian Border Force officials, firefighters, police, and paramedics all attending the scene at his parents' house. They all show up. Firefighters, Border Patrol officials, unbelievable. And a very strange way to learn that their son, that's always gotten really good grades and seems smart, has zero common sense whatsoever. Now, the article says, far from there being any intention of building something nefarious, such as a nuclear weapon, Emmanuel's lawyer, John, described his client as an innocent collector and a science nerd who had been left flipping burgers after being fired from his job because of this investigation. Yeah, he's going to be suffering a long time for this, and there is no ill intention, it would seem, so I feel bad for the kid. He's probably very intelligent, in the world of science. Not so much street smarts, but he's got some science smarts. And ambitious. I mean, anyone who sets out to collect all of the elements is pretty ambitious. I think some of these elements, they only exist for like a few seconds, so I don't even know how you could collect all of the elements. Let me verify this, though. Ooh, look at this. I'm learning. Who's the nerd now? It says elements with atomic numbers 114, 115, 116, and 118 are extremely unstable and exist for only a fraction of a second or even milliseconds before completely decaying. Element 114 is fluorovium. It only exists for a couple seconds. Moscovium has a half-life of only 0.65 seconds. Livermorium disappears in a fraction of a second. And oganescent lasts for about 0.9 milliseconds. I wish there was an orgasmic element. I've collected a few of those over my years, ladies. Anyway, my point is you can't really collect all of the elements. You would think this student of science would know that, but or maybe he had a plan for the other ones. I don't know. You caught him at plutoniums, the more difficult ones to obtain. He didn't even begin the process, I'd imagine. They're got to be expensive as heck, too, right? This is a very expensive hobby, for sure. What does plutonium cost? I don't even know. I'm curious. Oh, I found this whole website here that just gives you the prices of all the elements from cheapest to most expensive. Plutonium is near the top. It's over $6 million. It doesn't say for how much. Is that a gram? And then there's, wow, trillions of dollars for some of these elements, such as polonium. It's $50 trillion for polonium. It's used in atomic weapons, spacecraft, and satellites. Actinium is $29 trillion. Berkelium is 185 billion. Californium? I didn't even know that was an element. Californium. Oh, it's also a state. 185 billion. Oh, there's different californiums. Californium 249. Californium 252 is only 60 billion if you guys want the... That's like the Timu of the original californium. Well, it's a good thing they caught him on plutonium because he would have went into some serious credit card debt to get some of these other ones, I would think. And I mean, can you imagine you're just chilling at home and all of a sudden there's a delivery for your son and it's polonium? Where do you even store polonium? The storage costs. It's an extremely expensive hobby. May I suggest football cards? Yeah, a lot cheaper and not as dangerous, and you don't really get arrested for having them delivered to your home. There's some more quotes from his lawyer. He did not import or possess these items with any sinister intent. These were offenses committed out of pure naivety. That's true. There was no sinister intent, it would seem. These are offenses that were committed out of just a stupid brain. You know, a smart guy, but a stupid brain at the end of the day. Now, this particular sample of plutonium had been ordered online from a U.S.-based science website and had been delivered to his parents' home. You should probably go after the company that just sends plutonium through the mail. I mean, that can't be okay, right? I don't know. Obviously, it happens. I feel bad for this nerd. I really do. He might do some time over this. Back in my day, the nerds didn't order plutonium through the mail. They just played Dungeons and Dragons in basements. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I joined them. You did, Jonesy? You hung out with the nerds in a basement playing D&D? I did. You know why? They had the best cannabis. A California sperm bank suffered an embarrassing leak. Wow, it sounds like it's going to be a sticky situation. Let's keep reading. I need to get a load of this. One of the largest sperm banks in the United States, which is located in California, has suffered a very embarrassing leak. I know how they feel. This happened to me a few times in middle school, I recall. Let's get the details on this and find out if they're bringing in more donors to help them replenish their supply here. And, a special shout out to the janitor that had to be on cleanup duty for this leak. This is the Cryo Bank located in California. They confirmed the news of a very sensitive cyber attack. Oh, it's a cyber attack. It leaked data, not sperm. Although in a way, sperm is kind of data as well. They confirmed that there was a breach in their data, and a notification letter was sent out to the affected individuals. I assume donors' information was leaked. The company said it detected suspicious activity on its network, and they isolated some potentially affected devices as well. The preliminary investigation at the sperm bank determined an unauthorized party gained access to their IT environment and accessed and acquired files that were maintained on certain computer systems. California Cryobank is a sperm and egg bank that provides reproductive services, including sperm donation, egg freezing, and genetic screening. It is among the largest sperm banks in the U.S., offering a diverse range of donors and services and operating in all 50 states and more than 24 countries around the world. Wow, they're big business. All the ladies be freezing their eggs. I meet so many ladies that freeze their eggs. It's costly to freeze your eggs. The extraction of the egg, the maintaining of it, you have to keep it in a freezer and pay monthly freezer fees from what I've learned. You don't really have to pay to donate sperm, from my understanding. You even get paid if you have a very powerful in-demand sperm. I do not have in-demand sperm because I am only 5'6". Oh, I researched this. I reached out to a sperm bank when I was hard up for money. This was back in New York City, and I was disappointed to learn that the cutoff was 5'9". Can you imagine? That is blatant discrimination against short people, and no one's talking about it. The ways in which short guys are discriminated blatantly, and no one's apologetic about it. It says it on these sperm websites. If you're applying, they're looking for certain criteria, and height is one of them. It's an important one, very important. They didn't ask me any other questions like, how's your credit? I mean, it's crap, but I mean, wouldn't you want to know that? Do you have any life achievements? They never asked me that question. What are your life achievements? Well, I've hit a few home runs at co-ed softball, but they weren't interested in learning these other skills that I have. No, it's all about tall people. Well, let me tell you something. Tall people have been running the show for quite a while, and where are we? Yeah, You ought to hand the keys over to some short guys, I think. Give us a shot. You know what I mean? Short guys are reliable. We show up on time, right? You ever I'm asking anyone who's been on a date with a short guy. Short guy shows up on time. Tall guys, they don't show up on time. They don't have to. 6-footers, they just walk in with their long necks, looking around like, oh, you were waiting for me. You ever seen a short guy send back food at a restaurant? No, you haven't. We're just happy to have it, and we're pleased to get a doggy bag to go because a lot of us can't really finish the entire meal. The portion sizes are not for short guys; they're for the big guys. The big guys get completely coddled in our culture. It's just unfair. Tall, big guys got their own store even. You get your own store. Do you have any idea the struggle to find clothes as a short guy? I don't have my own store. The big guys do, big and tall. There's no store for me called small and slightly aggravated. Doesn't exist. A white woman who identifies as black plans to move to Africa. A German tanning enthusiast. A tanning enthusiast? I didn't even know that existed. I'm very enthusiastic about tanning, so much so that although I'm German and very white, I'm identifying as black. This German tanning enthusiast who was born white, identifies as a black woman, has shared her plans to move to Africa because she, quote, feels a deep connection to the country and its people. Well, the first thing you should learn about Africa if you're planning on moving there is that it's not a country, it's a continent. So maybe someone ought to show her a globe or something. Now, she plans to get more surgery to prepare for this move. She's already black from the photo I'm looking at. There's a before and after. She started as a white blonde. She's now a completely black woman. She did like the opposite of Michael Jackson. Her name is Martina. She goes now by the name Maleka. She previously sparked controversy when she revealed she uses melanin injections and her at-home tanning bed to change the color of her skin. The 36-year-old model has faced severe backlash over the years from people claiming she is wearing blackface, and they say she will never be black. Well, you can't stop her from identifying as black. People are identifying with whatever they want to feel close to these days, or whatever they feel. And, if it's not harming anybody, let them be whoever they want to be. This lady's received invitations from fans in many African countries, so it seems like they're embracing her. And she says it hasn't been easy to choose. Currently, she has Kenya and Namibia on her short list. Oh, so maybe she's aware that there are various countries in Africa. It didn't sound like that from the top of the article. She might be surprised to learn that it's not only black people that live in Africa. There's people who have been born in Africa that are white and live their whole lives there as well, as among other ethnicities. So, I say all that to say she didn't have to go through all of this body modification. And when you look at the photos of her, probably would have been a better idea to just not make those body modifications. It's not just the color of her skin. She's done some other things to her that look a little weird. So, but if she's happy, but she could have just gone over in her original form, is what I'm saying, and probably been embraced, She obviously, though, wanted to look completely black. She doesn't really look like African, I'm going to say. She just kind of looks like there's like a white lady under there that burnt herself. It's like a white lady that was roasted on the spit for a few too many turns. And I don't even want to get into what she's done to her boobs. It's a little extra, as the kids say. It's a little extra. The boobs are extra. In fact, in the article, it says Maleka aims to also have the largest breasts in the world, saying each of them are 6,630 cc. Is that a lot? 6,630 cc? Whoa, now let's learn about CCs and fake boobs. For breast implants, aiming for a D cup, let's say. We're all familiar with the D. That's the classic, right? The typical implant volume, measured in cubic centimeters, or cc, generally falls within the range of 350 to 450 cc. That's for a D cup. So how is this lady doing 6,630 cc? Is this a typo? Is it supposed to be 663 and they added a zero? 6,630 cc? How big are those breasts? What cup is that? I mean, well, I guess if you're going for the largest knockers in the world, you're going to win in a landslide, although I don't know how you're going to be able to get through doorways. How do you work a revolving door when you have breasts that are 6,000 cc, among other things? It says Malika has also had several lip injections, and she's planning to undergo a backside augmentation and surgery to widen her nose before she makes the move to Africa as well. All right. Well, I mean, I'm not one to yuck somebody's yum. Well, actually, I am. And I do so often on the podcast. But, in her defense, this makes her happy. It's not harming anybody. She looks freakish. But she wants to go the full route, and she wants people to recognize her in her African identity. Maybe she wants to say the N-word. That's why she's doing all of this. You think? Like, although you were born white, if you identify as a black person, are you allowed to say the N-word? I don't know. I never even thought this would ever come up in a discussion. What's the ruling on this? If you identify as someone who's allowed to say this specific word, right? This word that's caused people to lose their teeth and their careers, can she? Can she say it? Wow. This is very controversial now, huh? Nonetheless, Malika says she's visited Africa 3 times already, and she's confident that she and her husband will be completely welcomed by the African community when they decide to emigrate. Well, I mean, look at the bright side. This isn't the worst thing that white people have sent to Africa. Oh, she give me weird news when she touch me. Weird news when she's holding me tight. Do people hold you tight when you listen to weird news, guys? I'll hold you tight. I'll hold you tight every day with my podcast, guys. What does that mean, Jonesy? I don't know. I just don't know. This is the outro. I'm highly caffeinated. Please bear with me here. I'm trying to get through. Shout out to all my supporters for keeping me caffeinated over the years. It means a lot to me. It really does. And I have someone else I need to give thanks to because someone just joined the Patreon, and it's Catherine. That's right, Catherine. No last name, just Catherine. Just became a member of the Patreon. An upper-level member of the Patreon, if I might add. That's right. Catherine's buying Jonesy several coffees a month. Or Guinness with her upscale Patreon level here. Very, very, very generous. So we want to thank Catherine for supporting me in the Weird AF News podcast. Catherine's now a patron of the arts. You can tell people at parties now, Catherine, when they're like, what do you do? You're like, well, I have a career, but I'm also a patron of the arts. Oh, you're a patron of the arts. That's right. I support Weird AF News. I support that short guy in a closet just trying to make giggles and teach us about the weird world around us. He's doing God's work, in other words, and I'm supporting it. So, yeah, please enjoy the extra content in the Patreon, Catherine. There's bonus episodes in there, a lot of film suggestions, personal stuff from your buddy Jonesy as well. I like to put some of my personal adventures on there. There's also some extra weird content in the form of, stories that people send me that are of a visual nature that wouldn't really come across very effectively on an audio-only podcast, which this happens to be right now. So, yeah, I put a lot of extra stuff in the Patreon, so I hope you enjoy that. There's also a nice community of individuals in there that are big fans of the show, really cool people. And we have a football league every year, so a fantasy football, I should say. So you can join that if you'd like as well. Anyways, shout out to Catherine. If you guys would like to join the Patreon like Catherine the Great, go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or the official website, weirdafnews.com. If you'd like to email me some articles you think are appropriate for the show this week, it's funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can slide them into my DMs @funnyjones. And good luck with your life, man.